Hi, World Recapped here. Today, I'm going to explain a thriller film called Spellbound. Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. This movie is about a magical boy and a magical girl who could see dead people. At the beginning of the story, we are shown a magical boy whose name was Majo. He was doing a magic show with his friend. He used to do his show on the streets like this, but his magic had become very old. That's why the people standing there were not interested in his magic. Then Majo sees a boy standing there among all the people who looked very strange to him. Majo follows that girl. But as soon as that girl realizes that someone is following her, she stops in front of an old cupboard. Here Majo gets an idea. He thinks that he will get the witch out of a cupboard and then he will drive her away from the people with his magic. And who knows, people will like this magic. Now he goes to that strange girl, whose name was Kong. He offers her to work in his show. Kong also needed work, so she does not refuse him. Then Majo is shown, who was doing his show in a hall. This time a lot of people had come to see his show. He recites his mantra on a cupboard there. When that cupboard opens with his mantra, he throws a black cloth on it. That black cloth was flying in the air in the form of a ghost. Majo asks that ghost, "What have you come here to do?" He says revenge for his death. He is my killer among these people. But everyone who came to see the show there was scared. Now that ghost points to a girl. As soon as he points to her, the black cloth ghost catches him. Now that ghost had disappeared. But that girl wraps herself in that cloth. Majo then brings an axe and chants a mantra. And then he hits him. The girl wrapped in that cloth fell down. That cupboard also closes. When Majo removes that cloth, there was no girl there. Then from behind, Majo's companions come and cover the cupboard with cloth. When Majo removes that cloth, the cupboard was gone. But the girl sitting in the audience comes back safe and sound. People liked Majo's show very much. After the show is over, let's see Kong, who played the role of that ghost. That is, the ghost you saw in black was none other than Kong. And all this was Majo's plan. And the girl sitting among the people was also a member of their team. And Majo had a very good friend. When the work was over, Kong starts going from there. Majo stops him and says, listen to me, we are all going out. Will you come with us? But Kong refuses him and goes home. When Kong comes home, she talks to her mother. Here we know that she used to live alone. Today was her birthday. She was sitting alone and eating cake. Kong had also made a tent in his house, in which she slept because her house was very big. And she was afraid to sleep alone like this. When Kong wanted to sleep in the tent, she felt that as if someone was opening the zip of her tent. She sees two children in front of her who were dead. After that, we see Kong on the side of the road, where those two children had died. Kong calls the police. Says that a man was very drunk. And while driving a drunk car, he caused an accident to these children. Because this was told to him by those two children who were dead. Here we know that Kong could see dead people. The next day when Kong was on the set of the show, she was eating alone. Maju's friend was looking at her very intently. What Kong does not like and starts going from there. That's why Maju comes there and stops him. Says that where are you going? She says her home. He says no. No, you can't go today. You make some excuse every day and go. Today you will have to stay with us. Come on, our whole team is going to eat. You also come. After a lot of consolation of Maju, Kong has to agree. And she goes with them. Now when they were eating food, Maju's friend was telling everyone. Do you know? Last night, my grandmother came in my dream. She was scolding me a lot. And she also said that when I was alive, why didn't you come to meet me? When Kong hears this, she laughs a lot. She was very drunk and laughing loudly. There she was also doing strange things. She sits next to Maju and insults her a lot. She says, I told you not to come here. Why did you bring me here? She grabs Maju's shirt and tears it. Then she apologizes to everyone. And leaves from there. All the people of her team were very surprised at her behavior. The next day it is shown that Maju's friend was going somewhere. When he was coming back from the airport, she gets a call from Kong, who was apologizing to her for the misbehavior of the night. During the conversation, Kong hears the sound of screams from the painting in his house. When she looks that way, a soul was coming out of it and scaring her. Poor Kong, scared, sits on one side of her house. After a while, the door of her house is left open. When she goes and sees, her boss Maju was there, because he heard the sound of her scream on the phone. And that's why he came to know about her well-being. There was nothing to feed her in Kang's house, except for a 2-day-old cake. She decorates it according to her and presents it to him. When he starts going from here, he sees a child in front of him, which was hidden in the corner. When he asks Kong about it, she tells him that this child lives in our neighborhood, and maybe he is playing hide and seek. Maju says, "Come, let's play with him." But when he sees him there again, that child was missing. Then again in the corner, he sees the same child. He hides there with Kong. When he scares the child, he runs away very fast. Maju had also left. After his departure, Kong calls her friend. She tells him that my boss had come to my house. There Maju was sleeping in her house at night. Then someone passes through his bed, with which his eyes open. When he turns on the light and sees, there was the same child in his house. What he saw in Kang's house. When he sees himself in the mirror, that child was standing behind him. Seeing this, he gets very scared and falls. He comes out of the house and calls Kong. Tells him that the child living in your neighborhood is at my house. Kong comes to Maju with alcohol and says, "Drink a little first. Then you will understand what I want to say to you." She says in his ear, "Listen, I see dead people. I can see dead people. And that child may want to say something to us." Now they both go inside the house again. That child again puts his hand on Maju's shoulder. When Kong puts his hand on that child's hand, then he sees a vision, a thought. When they go to the same place of vision, where a woman had an accident. That woman's child was dead, but she was still alive. Maju quickly calls the ambulance. In the morning, the ambulance takes the child and his mother. As soon as the ambulance leaves, the child thanks Kong and Maju that he saved his mother's life, and disappears. After which Kong takes Maju to the riverbank and tells her, "A few years ago I was also dead. I mean, my breath was stopped for a while. When I was going by school bus, I had an accident. I was dead for a while. Somehow I was saved. But my best friend died. After that, I started seeing ghosts of my friends and other dead people. After which everyone started staying away from me. Even my mother and sister left me alone." After telling all this, Kong goes to the riverbank and screams and says, "My friend, how long will you be able to keep me alone? I have a lot of friends online. How will you keep them away from me?" Actually, the ghost of Kang's friend was also visible to those people who used to live with him. And because of this fear, no one wanted to live with Kong. Here Maju also says, "Cheap witch, you can't do anything to Kong without me. Because both go away from here." The next day, Kong and Maju go to a bar, where Kong drinks a lot again. Maju tells him to leave the house, but he refuses to go to his house. That's why Maju took him to his house when he was sleeping at night. Then water was falling on Maju's face, with which his eyes open. When he looks up, then from the roof, the ghost of Kang's friend was there, who was scaring him. Kong puts his hand on Maju's eyes. Says, "Don't pay attention to this side. Don't look at her. She will go." But Maju was very scared. That's why Kong makes a tent for him. These two now slept in the same tent. When it is morning, Maju's friend comes here, who had gone somewhere for work, to whom Maju had left the airport. But now she had come back. He was very angry to see all this. She calls Kong very bad. She says to him, "I know. You don't have any friend. Not even your family. They all left you. And if I were in your place, I would have died long ago. Maju tells him to be quiet after listening to him. Kong was feeling very bad about Maju's friend. She leaves crying. The next morning, when Maju's team was preparing for their next show, Kong does not come there. Maju was very sad. When Kong was cleaning his house to meet him, his friends come, who was online. She had also brought food for him. Kong is very happy to see them. Now she eats food and talks a lot. Then Maju's call comes, who was telling him that he is missing him a lot. He wants to meet him. Now at night, Kong gets ready and wants to meet Maju. So on the way, she started watching that magic show. Then she sees her friend's soul in the crowd. When she was trying to escape from him, she falls on the stage, where there were a lot of hands behind her. They were holding her. But Maju comes there. He makes that drowning moment a part of the show, which people were liking a lot when they were going. So Kong says to him, "Tell me the truth. Are you worried because of me? Or is your life getting ruined because of me?" Maju says, "Why are you saying this? In fact, I am nothing without you. I want to spend my life with you." After which Kong takes her home. In the morning, when Maju was leaving her house, while leaving, Kang's friend Soul sees him. On the way, Maju's car accidents with the crane, and he was saved. The surprising thing was that there was no driver inside the crane. When Maju comes out, a very big signboard had fallen on him. When Kong was cleaning her house, she gets a locket, which was her friend's. She takes that locket, goes to the hall, where Maju was performing. He was showing his magic. That's why she sits in the middle of the magic scene people. When the closet opens, a black-cloaked ghost comes out of it. When Maju asks him about his killer, so she points somewhere else first. But later, she points to Kong. She takes him to her closet. Everyone is very scared, because this magic was not a part of their show. Everyone was surprised when Maju opens the closet. In it, Kong was trapped in a water aquarium. He was trying to get him out, when he tries to break the aquarium with an axe. So he flies in the air and falls down. And he was unconscious. When Kong was in the aquarium, she takes out the locket and starts giving it to her friend. The story goes from here. On the day when Kang's school bus had an accident. Actually, Kong and his friend were very good friends. Kang's friend had this locket, which was expensive, along with. But Kong also liked this locket a lot. For a while, she asks her friend to wear it. As soon as she wears that locket, then the bus had an accident. All the children fell into the river. When the rescue team takes them out, she was worried whose treatment should be done first. Because at this time, she could only save a person's life. When they see a necklace in Kang's neck, they understand that this is from a rich family. And that's why the sisters save his life. But Kang's friend was dead. Then when Kong is taken to the hospital, the doctors removed the locket and gave it to Kang's mother. She forgot to keep it. And now because of this locket, Kang's friend was behind her. Her soul was wandering. We see the present scene again, where Kong puts on her friend's locket. As soon as she puts on the locket, she came out of the aquarium. But Machu was still unconscious. Both of them are taken to the hospital. When she comes to her senses and sees Machu in this condition, she decides to go away from him. But after she comes to her senses, when Machu comes to know about this, he calls her and stops her and starts crying. But Kong doesn't stop. Now when Kong was leaving this city, she was sitting in the plane. Then an air hostess comes to her. When the air hostess talks to her, Then her friend's soul was there. Then the plane starts moving. There Machu, who was sitting at the airport, was waiting for Kong. He hears this announcement that our plane is coming back. Something has gone wrong in it. And she was talking about the same plane. When Machu hears this, he is very happy. Now when he sees Kong, he talks to her. He tells her that I love you a lot. I want to be with you all my life. You can't leave me like this. But Kong tells her to look up, where her friend's soul was standing. She says that you still love me. Because think about it. She is going to be with me all her life. Machu says yes. I still love you. They came close to each other. And were very happy. And with this happy ending, this movie story ends here. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.